Hello, 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 assalamu alaikum, good morning, khush aamdeed, ji ayanu, goeiemorgen, pakhair, ragale, washmale. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Well This Morning on a beautiful, beautiful rainy Friday morning, which is a Hashmi. And well, of course, I mean, when we are always hailing from the Twin Cities, it is always beautiful, no matter if it's sunny, cloudy or rainy. But especially now that we're entering into a winter spell, I mean, the mountains, the clouds, it's absolutely stunning in Islamabad. I really wish a lot of you could see here as well. From the next time, I mean, I think I'm going to request my producers we could put in a little clip of how the views look around here so that your morning can be amazing as well. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, Juma Mubarak, please remember me and my entire team in your prayers, and also our Kashmiri brethren. I mean, Pakistan as a nation has taken an oath to stand in solidarity with Kashmir on every Friday, 12 p.m., no matter what you're doing. I mean, if you're even driving, if you're even working at your shops, at your schools, whatnot, just, I mean, come out of that, stop doing what you're doing and observe a few minutes of silence, observe a few minutes of prayers, and just pray to Allah that, I mean, imagine this is the 53rd day, consecutive day of communications blackout. There are no internet or mobile services over there in the valley. I mean, there is no access to immediate or urgent medical care. No family members are in contact with their other family members. I mean, it's absolutely heartbreaking to look at the situation. So let's all together pray to Allah that our brothers from Kashmir, our Muslims brothers, actually get independence, their freedom, their right to self-determination as soon as possible. Because it's been more than 70 years now and we can't stand it anymore. I'm pretty sure it's even worse for the people out there. So Friday, ladies and gentlemen, being a Pakistani, we stand in solidarity with Kashmiris. Just, I know they cannot watch us right now, or they cannot not even hear about us, but this is just so that eventually, inshallah, when they come out of the communications blockout, they will see that Pakistan was there for them. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are we talking about today? Well, when we're talking about Pakistan, we are a developing country and we are resorting to so many different ways of how we can boost the economy of the country, especially for the incumbent government. A lot of focus has been put on, foreign investments and creating a conducive environment for business inside the country as well, giving chances to, young initiatives as well, and especially to the ones who are responsible, who take care about their, social environment and what not, and especially for the ones who want to do something good for Pakistan. And speaking of Pakistan, a lot of, SMEs, small and medium enterprises, contribute to the economy of Pakistan directly or indirectly. And 90% of all enterprises in Pakistan are SMEs. That is a huge number. But approximately they contribute to 40% of the annual GDP of Pakistan. Is that a good number? Should we be happy with that or not? That is definitely what we will be looking at. But also with that, the good thing is we're looking at employment over here as well. First of all, you're giving, ideas. You're granting the ideas of people who have some great initiatives. You're allowing them to have their own business, but then they're allowing a lot of other people to have jobs as well. I mean, a lot of families are running on the basis of SMEs. So around 80% of the non-agricultural labor force is employed here in the SME sector. Why am I talking about SMEs? Because this is what, of course, we are discussing today under the banner of US aid. So the US government decided years earlier to help Pakistan to grow economically, and now SMEs is one of the things that they are now focusing upon. I am not going to give all of it away. We definitely have a very amazing, apt panel of guests over here in the studio who will be talking about this. So without further ado, let's introduce them. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, we have the project management specialist for USAID here in Pakistan. She's none other than Afsheen Shakur. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Shiza, for having me on the show.
My pleasure, absolutely. How's the morning working out for you?
I would say I'm not a morning person, but it's been raining and Islamabad is beautiful,
right?
So it's good.
I know, right? All right, so next to Ms. Afsheen, we have someone who happens to be the chief of Party USAID Small and Medium Enterprise Activity. He is none other than Mr. Farokh M. Khan. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having us on the show.
Our pleasure, absolutely. Now, next to Mr. Farokh, we have real-life example of success stories that USAID has produced, if I'm not wrong, right? So first of all, we have Dr. Sara Saeed, the CEO of Sehat Kahani. This is an amazing initiative. I cannot wait to reveal this to you. Assalamu alaikum, Sara. Welcome to the show.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for having us here.
My pleasure. Next to Sara, we have Zile Mariam, who happens to be the co-founder of something called Waste Busters or Trash Masti. This sounds amazing and interesting as well. Let's find out what this is. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the show.
Walaikum assalam. Thank you so much for having us.
My pleasure. So let's begin the conversation with Afsheen over here. Yeah. Afsheen, we know how USAID has been working for Pakistan, but now to focus on SMEs, what drove you guys?
So basically, USAID, United States Agency for International Development, short for USAID, is a very strategic partner, and we believe that Pakistan and US are very strong allies in the development of Pakistan. So USAID has been working in many areas, and SME being one of the key factors for economic growth. That's why we focus on SMEs. Why we focus? In your starting speech, you said that SMEs contribute to a lot of GDP. They also contribute to the to employment in Pakistan. So that's why our focus. You know that Pakistan needs to create about 1.5 to 2 million jobs every year, and we have a youth bulge, as we say. So who is going to accommodate that youth bulge? Absolutely. So SMEs are the backbone of any economy, any country that is looking forward to success or getting into the to the race of developing world. So that's our focus. That's why we focus on SMEs.
That's absolutely amazing. And you know, to focus on something that is, I mean, I can't say minor, but this is something sometimes neglected, sometimes overlooked. I mean, when you look at an idea that comes from a small household or a small background, you're like, I don't think this is going to make any difference, but it does on such a big scale that sometimes we can't even imagine. So now this is sort of a new round of grants that you're giving out, and this is the third round. Tell us all about it. How has the response been, and how are you guys going about it?
Well, it's the third round, as you rightly said. In the previous two rounds, we've given 45 grants to date. There are basically two types of grants that we give. One is called the SME growth grants, in which existing companies which need to grow to the next level in terms of getting new technologies, tapping into new markets, or bringing in some expertise into their companies to really sort of get out of the low tech into the better sort of ways of producing their goods and services. So what we do is that through an open solicitation process, we invite applications from these SMEs. And as I said, one is SME growth grant. The next one is something we call innovation grants, in which new ideas and startups can also participate in that round of grants also.
All right, that's amazing. So you're saying up till now, for the 3 rounds that you've done, altogether you've given out 45 grants.
45 grants.
That's amazing. And to different parts of the Pakistan, I mean, not only one area, right?
Yes, this is a nationwide project. So we invite applications from all 4 provinces and also from Gilgit-Baltistan also.
Okay, so but is there a certain quota? I mean, when you're looking at probably far-flung areas of Pakistan, let's say interior Sindh or FATA or KP, I mean, there definitely has to be a certain quota.
So
flexibility, let's say, is there?
So basically, we don't have quota, but this project of USAID works in priority sectors. So we have 6 priority sectors.
All right.
But we do give a lot of, to encourage women entrepreneurs, we have flex criteria. So we focus on vulnerable population of Pakistan. That includes youth, that includes women, that includes, people from KP, FATA, and, all the far-flung areas. So the criteria has been kind of, made flexible for them, and the benefit has been increased to encourage those people from those areas to avail the benefit of grants.
That's absolutely amazing, and especially when you're looking at a population where almost 53% is female. I mean, you cannot, although what the society tells you, whatever the traditional terms that we've always been exposed to, you cannot just rely on one person to, earn bread for their family. We cannot just, in today's age especially, families, women, children cannot just rely on men to go out, do your job, we'll make a sandwich for you when you come back home. This is not happening. This is not Naya Pakistan, let's say. But other than that, speaking of Naya Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, we are focusing on tourism a lot. And I absolutely love this idea. A lot of countries that I've been to, or you guys have seen on TV or on the internet as well, their entire economy is built up on tourism. Hundreds of thousands, millions of people every year or every season go out there to, watch things. And especially when we're looking at the incumbent government again, they are even introducing new tourism spots. They're introducing something so nice. This was last week I discovered Samandar Kata. This is absolutely brilliant, just a few minutes away from Nathia Gali, if any one of you has been to it. It's a stunning view to look at. It's absolutely amazing to go with your families too. Well, I'm mentioning this because today also happens to be International Tourism Day, ladies and gentlemen, and our amazing, amazing researcher over here, Hasnan, has made a very special report for this. Let's take a look at it. When we come back, we will be in conversation with the amazing ladies who got the grants from USAID. Let's take a look.
Pakistan is a beautiful country with the world's most beautiful natural places. Thousands of people from foreign countries come to visit them. Especially Kashmir and northern areas of Pakistan have been always most visited places of Pakistan. This part of Pakistan has always been famous all around the world because of its awesome green valleys, high mountains, beautiful lakes, beautiful rivers, healthy weather and nature-rich wildlife. Here are some beautiful places in Pakistan. Murree. Murree is the best place to see the beauty of nature. Murree is a hill station situated in Pir Panjal range, which is at a distance of 60 kilometers northeast to Islamabad. The city of Murree, wrapped in forest of oak and pine, experiences pleasant summers and cold snowy winters. The city is famous for its building style and a pleasant weather. Murree is queen of mountains and it is also called as Malka-e-Kausar. Lulusar. Lulusar is a group of snowy mountains and a lake located near to the Kagan Valley, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province of Pakistan. Lulusar is one of the most beautiful lakes of Pakistan. It is famous for its beautiful eye-attracting mountains that never get dry in every summer. Kagan Valley. Kagan Valley is 160 km wide and it is situated on the awesome green fields of mountains. It is a natural and beautiful place where thousands of tourists visit every year and it is located in northern areas of Pakistan. Kagan Valley is extremely massive and wide with an oversized variety of inexperienced field. Pai Meadows. Pai Meadows is one of the most beautiful places in Pakistan. The Pai Meadows is also famous for Pai Lake, which is situated in the center of Pai Meadows. The best time to visit this place is winters, when the surrounding of Siri Pai Meadows are covered with the snow. Skardu. Skardu is the best place and a paradise for the locals and international climbers. Skardu is getting more and more attention of the world from many past years. In the north of Skardu, the Karakoram Mountains are situated. The series of mountains looks very amazing for the locals and international level mountain climbers. Skardu is one of the most beautiful places in Pakistan that is visited by thousands of tourists every year. Pakistan is known as a country of lush green plains, land of beautiful lakes, and land of sky-touching mountains. Pakistan is heaven on earth.
Wow, there is absolutely no doubt in how amazingly beautiful Pakistan is. And thank you, Aslan, for making this report, because I think to look at something so beautiful early in the morning definitely shapes your day. But Afshin, when we were on a break, you were discussing that actually main focus of USAID SMEs lies on tourism as well. How's that so?
So basically, I said in the beginning that we are focusing on certain sectors. So SMEA basically focus on 6 sectors, and hospitality being one. Tourism is a major component within hospitality as a subsector that we focus on. The other sectors that we focus on include ICT, information communication technology. We also focus on light engineering, and we focus on minerals, and there are other some sectors that we focus on. But tourism is one of the key sectors of USAID SMEA that we really want to encourage Pakistanis to invest in tourism in Pakistan.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. But all right, Mr. Farooq and Afshin, right now I'm going to take a little break from both of you because I cannot wait to reveal your stories to the world. I've listened to them, but let's start. All right, Dr. Sara, Sehat Kahani, tell us all about it. How did you conceive the idea of it? How did you apply about getting the grants? Tell us all about it.
So Sehat Kahani is based on 2 very big issues that exist in healthcare in Pakistan. The first one very close to my heart, because at some point of my life I was also a part of that problem, is the issue of doctor brides in Pakistan. Majority of our medical workforce is made up of female doctors, almost 70%, but stats say that only 23% come back to formal workforce after graduation. So between graduation and coming into formal workforce, they fall into different socio-cultural constraints that inhibit their ability to come back and formally work in the medical workforce. What it does in a country like Pakistan is that when we have 200 million people and most of them don't get access to qualified doctors, which disproportionately affects women and children, this lack of medical workforce not practicing, the people in villages or low-income communities, when they can't reach a doctor, they ultimately succumb to quacks or non-qualified health workers.
Exactly.
And that ultimately causes a health burden on the country. So what Sehat Kahani does is we connect these female doctors from their homes, from their places of comfort, wherever they're placed in the world, to patients who can't reach a female doctor using the technology of telemedicine.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
All right. So probably this is one of the factors that you mentioned, one of the 6 And that is why you got the grant, I'm assuming.
Yes. So we got the grant in the ICT and the women-led business category because we use a telemedicine software and we train nurses in low-income communities to use the software. So whenever a patient comes to their clinic, they take the history and the data of the patient, submit it in a software, and then they take the patient online and connect them to the online doctor. So it's using like a tri-way Skype or try a video consultation process. But what it does for the patient is when they go to that nurse, they not only get seen by a nurse in their community, but also with a qualified doctor who can be placed anywhere in the world.
Wow,
and
that's
that's the power
amazing.
of telemedicine technology that we've introduced through the idea.
That's great. So what you are, to my understanding, there is a physical clinic that you can
Yes.
go to, and then you have a virtual appointment with a doctor that can be anywhere in the
Yes,
world.
yes.
So it doesn't matter if you don't have qualified doctors in your area, you can get access to the most qualified doctors in the world that are signed with you, of course.
Absolutely.
And do we have an approximate number of how many have been signed up with you?
So we have a network of 1,500 doctors that
1,500,
we've
wow.
created till now, and they range all the way from general physicians to specialists and complicated specialties such as oncology, breast cancer specialty, and psychiatry and psychology as well, because we also do a lot of active work on mental health. That's an important part of health that we always lose. We have 25 clinics across Pakistan, and I think through the grant, how it helped us was we were able to open two more clinics in Sindh and KP. We were able to train these nurses through our capacity building workshops, do health awareness sessions for them, and ultimately in 6 months during the tenure of the grants, we were able to reach out to 12,000 people.
Wow,
We also
that's
create jobs
amazing.
for 10 plus people in the communities, along with giving job opportunities to more doctors.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, I do have a question from you, which is actually from you guys as well. But before that, I need to move to Zile Mariam over here. Waste Busters. Sounds amazing. Tell us all about it.
Okay, so this project is it's a JV between Waste Busters and Trash Masti.
Trash Masti, okay.
So Trash Masti is the technology side which helped Waste Busters to communicate with the local people for getting their recyclables sold out to Trash Masti via application.
All right.
It's women-led. It's ICT involved in it. So when we got grant for this, Waste Busters helped Trash Masti to grow.
Okay.
And it's a separate project which is now self-sustainable. So it created jobs for the youth as well. As well, it is helping people to sell off their waste, their trash, their recyclables online.
Wow.
So we collect online recyclables. Our Trash Hero goes there, collect the recyclables, and anyone can do that.
Yes.
So you can just sell off your waste right to the Trash Hero right away.
That's
to reduce the
amazing.
problem of waste management.
Wow. So here's the thing, Zile Mariam. I mean, of course, one thing that we're looking at, you're definitely taking care of the environment around you, which is absolutely great. But one more thing, you are destigmatizing something. I mean, whenever you look at workers, especially, you know, sweepers or cleaners who on the streets, even in our house, we belittle them sort of. We have a certain connotation of something low to deal with them, which is absolutely wrong. I'm not endorsing any sort of behavior here with them. But you are destigmatizing that. I mean, you are mainstreaming this idea of managing your own waste, which is brilliant.
So this was the actually concept behind Trash Masti. So Trash Masti founder is Farooq Nasir, who has the idea that we have to destigmatize the job of a kabadia.
Yes.
So Trash Masti is a tech-based kabadia, modern kabadia, which can just go to your place, collect the waste, and then come back for proper recycling.
Wow.
We are focusing on that you can track your waste, where your waste is going. So when you're selling your waste to us, you must know you are becoming a responsible recycler.
Right.
So it's not we are going to dump it anywhere or we are going to just give it to the people, those who are mixing it with hospital waste in case of plastic or in terms of any other thing. But it is going to the people, those who are actually recycling it.
All right.
And
so you make sure that it reaches its final destination and then we can track wherever it's
we
going.
do, and we do track. We do
Okay.
have a track, and now we are up for the scale-up grant as well to set up our own recycling system.
That's
so
amazing.
now we are going to apply for the scale-up grant as well
Wow.
because they have actually, USHME has actually helped us to convert from a small business to a larger one.
Of course. Congratulations on that.
Thank you
Mashallah,
so
both of you
much.
are doing great. Dr. Sara and Zile Mariam. But now my question is from both of you. I mean, no offense, I'm just here to clarify for all the audiences out there. Now, imagine Dr. Sara came up to you, gave you her idea and everything, and you guys were like, okay, what, you know, our grant should go here. How do you guys check that this is actually something, let's say, right or something substantial? Are you sure? Do you guys make sure that the people on the video call who are managing the patients are real doctors? Is there a certain way to check or qualify whatever Dr. Sara is bringing in?
I will let Farooq answer
Yes,
this
please.
question.
Yeah, it starts with the process of when the application comes to us. It is evaluated on preset criteria which are advertised when the application is solicited. So some of the applications are sort of sifted out at that stage.
Yes, go on, go on.
Later on, what happens is that we have an independent panel.
All right, just
of
hold, can you
experts.
please hold on for just a minute? I think there's something wrong with your mic, but we definitely do need to talk about this very thing. That whenever, I mean, you do have a lot of applications for some grants over here, especially at your organization, let's say. But what really qualifies as something responsible, as a good initiative that can actually contribute to not just the economy, but to the employment issue that we have over here as well, and to a transparent business? This is what we will talk about, but after a very short break. Stay tuned. Good morning. Welcome back to World This Morning, which is a Hashmi, ladies and gentlemen, where today the show is super informative for me, and I'm hoping for you too as well, because we are discussing small and medium enterprises in Pakistan and how USAID specifically is helping out people who have such ideas or who have been, given these grants to make Pakistan a better economy. And when we're talking about SMEs, I mean, just keep in mind 90% of total enterprises in Pakistan are small or medium enterprises. Well, before we went out on a short break, there was a little error with Mr. Farooq's mic over here, but that is the beauty of a live show. I mean, anything can go wrong. All right, so Mr. Farooq, you were explaining to us how do you make sure that the people who are applying are actually real, they're not a scam, and what is the procedure through which you make sure that, everything's smooth? How do you filter out?
Yeah, basically, we solicit applications through a process what we call a request for applications, or RFAs. They are open, they are given out to the SMEs through open advertisements, and there are preset criteria. Some of them are related to how these enterprises can create more job opportunities, create more sales opportunity for themselves, tap into better markets, are able to bring in some innovation into their businesses. So some of the basic criteria help us to sift out some of the applications which do not fit into the overall the design of the RFA. And then we have a robust process of actually going to the sites of these SMEs and checking it out on our own. Do the due diligence, whether that company exists, do they have the employees that they are claiming that are working for them, do they have the financial management in place, which sort of tells us that there is a process in place whereby they can manage the grants in an appropriate manner. And then that application is also scrutinized and examined by independent sector experts. And based on the points scored during that process, then it comes to us, the project, and then it goes for USAID to sort of finally approve it. So it's a long process, very rigorous process of checking the authenticity of the claims in the application, and also the sustainability part of it as well.
Yes, sustainability matters a lot, of course.
Yes.
But, when you're looking at, imagine now you have given a grant to one of the businesses. How do you make sure that this is going to grow in the future as well? I mean, what is the incentive that you give out to the businesses that they really do want to grow it further?
Basically, it starts with, it's their idea. We are only there to help them out, facilitate, and give them the grant funding to do what they would otherwise find it difficult to do. For example, for an SME to do regular business is challenging enough. For them to innovate is a big risk. So we sort of mitigate that risk for them on the financial side, and also build their capacities during the process of scrutiny, and also when the milestones are being achieved. We also sort of have a reporting process in place, which is based on, as I said, milestones that they have to achieve, because their payments for grants are tied to those achievement of those milestones. And then we have quarterly reports based on the progress they have promised in their applications.
Oh, that's amazing. And you guys have to give sort of a weekly, that whatever that you guys have been up to, a schedule of things as well that you guys can approve?
It's not weekly, but it is regular. Based on the timings of the milestones that they have to achieve as a part of the grant implementation process. But the reporting on, let's say, the sales, jobs, and other things, the basic indicators that we have in place, that is done more on a quarterly basis.
All right, that's amazing. But Dr. Sara and Zili Mariam, the thing over here in Pakistan, when you're coming up with a business idea, no matter if it's small or big, you are not only catering to, let's say, the profit side of your life. There's not a certain need that you need to make certain dollars a day or a week. But especially your ideas, you are catering to that segment of the society which is often overlooked or even neglected. The issues that remain, I mean, when we're talking about your initiative, Sehat Kahani over here, you have recruited female doctors. I personally happen to be friends with some girls who have spent, 6 to 7 years of their life studying, becoming a doctor because they wanted to, their parents spending each and every single penny of their savings to make them a doctor. But because of their husbands, sometimes because of their in-laws, they're not allowed to practice, which is absolutely heartbreaking for me to see, for a lot of people out there. But you are giving them a safe place to practice, and then you are actually employing them as well, which is absolutely great to look at. You're running families directly or indirectly. How does that feel? And does that come from somewhere? I mean, did you feel that maybe one day in your life that this is actually happening to Pakistani women?
So I'm a medical doctor myself,
Yeah.
and I've also studied 6 or 7 years of my life in a
Yes.
medical college. And during my medical degree, I kept seeing that the brightest students in the class were females. But as the final years of graduation achieved, they started getting married or having children, and their focus shifted from education to setting up families.
Right.
Which is absolutely okay, but there is a need for a country like Pakistan that female doctors, being the majority of the medical workforce, should work.
Right,
And
absolutely.
the reason of their not working is maybe in-laws or husband pressures, but it's also the lack of availability of daycares or just support system for female doctors to work after becoming mothers or having families. Even the calls that a resident does is 36 hours.
Yes.
Not a lot of families in Pakistan allow their
Allow.
daughters to spend nights in hospitals, which can be easily mitigated by converting this into 12-hour shifts.
Okay.
So these are small steps that can be taken to include their participation in the workforce. As for my own example, I think there was a time in my life where I couldn't work because I just had a daughter and
Okay.
shifted to a new city. And I realized during that time that the thing that I've believed in for the last 15, 16 years of my life and my parents believe in is a dream that's going to vanish away. And in today's time, digital health is a booming industry all over the
It
world.
is,
It's being
yes.
used by countries like US and UK and other European countries to combat the lack of supply of doctors present at all times. And it's very easy because you have a female health workforce in the country which is spread throughout.
Exactly.
And these are very strong, courageous women who've done so much work in their own lifetimes. What you need to do is give them respect, train them, teach them a software, and they learn in no time. In my own experience, they take 3 to 5 days to learn the software, and then they become so involved in it passionately that they will themselves show the patient to a doctor at all times.
Wow.
We've diagnosed thyroid cancers in patients through clinical examination
Wow.
in KPK.
That's big. I mean,
Yes,
wow.
and it only happens because there's a qualified person sitting at the end of the screen who's not a quack, who's not going to give you antibiotics or drips just because you have a fever, but actually going to tell you the difference between quality healthcare
Absolutely.
and non-quality healthcare, which is what we're doing.
Absolutely. And Dr. Sara, you know what? Now, whatever I'm going to say is actually coming from a background that I've seen. So, my paternal village happens to be somewhere near Sargodha, and it is, let's say, it's not a very, of course, not a very posh area. I mean, there is no access to medical care, no access to first aid as well. A lot of people, just for a minor, let's say, stomach ache or a headache, have to go to a nearby city, which is 40 plus minutes away, to get access to that. And a lot of women, unfortunately, through their, delivery times and even in their minor issues, lose their lives because they're not allowed to leave their houses for their own checkups. Now, this is something amazing. If you set up these units in rural areas especially, and then creating a safe environment for the women to come to and for the men of the family to believe that it's okay, they're not going anywhere else, it's females doctor looking at them, female nurses catering to them. This is absolutely amazing. Congratulations on that. All right, Zile Mariam, again, initiative by women who took the responsibility of making the environment cleaner for Pakistan. You are doing this online as well, which is great. When you're looking at, specifically talking about plastic bottles as an example for the audiences out there, how do you deal with it? Do I come up to you and be like, hey, I have 30 plastic bottles and I need to get rid of them? How does that happen?
Okay, firstly, it's almost 72,000 tons of waste which is generated every day throughout Pakistan. And out of that, almost 40,000 tons it's recyclable,
All right.
and which can be managed easily if we want to become responsible recycler, and responsible citizens as well. If you have collected over a period, like for a month, the recyclables or the PET bottles or the plastics, you can just either have our app download on your Android phone,
Okay.
or you can just make a request on the website as well, that this much amount of bottles are there. So there's a calculator as well. So you can get it calculated that, okay, 30 kg of bottle, this much amount of money I'm going to get when Trash Hero will come. And you can select your time as well, that I am here at my place at this time and I can just give away my bottles at this time.
That's so convenient. And
Yeah.
you make sure that all of that litter is actually going to a proper waste management site.
Yes, we do have a site. We have gathered a small amount of money as well, and a third-party investor who has given us his site for the recyclable collection material.
That's amazing.
And it's a small unit for getting the plastic recycled as well.
All right, that's
So
amazing.
we are making sure to complete the life cycle of the product we are receiving.
All right, and you're also planning on expanding in terms of getting your own recycling plant?
Yes, we are.
Oh wow, how long do you think that's going to take, roughly speaking?
Okay, if we get a good amount of money or
Inshallah.
an investor, so almost 6 to 7 months to
That's
set up the entire.
amazing. All the best of luck for that. I mean,
Thank you
I
so
really see
much.
a very bright future for your initiative. Now, towards the end, I want you to give out all the details to the audiences out there, how they can apply for these grants, who can qualify for these grants, and where should they belong to. I mean, any part of Pakistan. This is your camera. Please go ahead.
Yes, you can apply for getting the documentation from our team, from our email address, challengefund@pakistansmea.com. So you'll be provided all kinds of details which are related to how you can give your application to us. So it is open for the entire country. There is no sort of restriction that way. Our current grants are also being implemented in all 4 provinces and even in Gilgit-Baltistan as well. There is a special consideration which is given to women-led businesses. Our overall target that USAID had given us is 10% of our overall assistance should be for women, but you'll be happy to know that 30% of our current beneficiaries are women.
Oh wow.
And we want to sort of increase that number as we go into
More
our
than
next
30%?
round. Yes,
Wow.
yes.
That's absolutely brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, you got the website details down there. And if you have any, ideas that you need to put in business or execute, this is where you should be applying for. But towards the very end, Afshin, I think you're the very right person to answer this. Because of the social media becoming so popular among not only children or youngsters, among women, men of all ages, I feel like a lot of women sitting at the expense of their own TV lounge can actually run a business which is doing great. Is that adding on to your application numbers as well? I mean, because a lot of women do have ideas, but they're limited to their own houses.
Yeah, of course we do, because ICT is one of the key sectors that we have. We get a lot of ideas from these women who are actually sitting at home and running business online, so online stores. And I would encourage every person who has an idea and they feel that it speaks to what the requirement of RFP are, they should apply. Just to add one more thing to what Farooq has said, so we do focus on women, but we also have we also encourage people from the far-flung areas, specifically KP province, to apply to these grants. This is our area of focus that we'd like or encourage people to apply.
Oh wow, that's absolutely brilliant. And you guys are doing an amazing job for Pakistan. You guys definitely have a very big hand in the economic growth of Pakistan. Towards the end, very quickly though, I want a one-liner from both of you, because you being women, you having a very mashallah established business. Speak to the women out there who might be in doubt. They do have ideas, but they're not really executing them. Speak to them. Here's your camera.
So I think
Inspire them.
I think as a female entrepreneur, I think women in our country are just afraid to take that first step. That first step out of their houses, their first step to initiate something, to discuss an idea with someone. There was a time in my life as I was very scared also. So I'll just tell you that if you have an idea in your mind, just don't be scared to experiment with it. Just take that first step, and then you have the capability. God has given you a very intellectual mind, a very strong personality to take it forward. So just take that first step.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. What about you, Zile Mariam?
I think I would like to say that SMEs or the experienced companies, those who are old enough to hold the hand of women entrepreneurs, those who want to grow, come up with their own best ideas, they must help them. So it's not only the grant which is coming up, it's the SMEs which can help people to grow as well, and especially the females as well. So my example is in front of you, that I started as an employee and I ended up as an employer. So yes, you can just believe in yourself and start doing what you wish to.
That's beautiful. Believe in yourself is actually the key here, right? Thank you so much for joining me early in the morning, especially. I know how hard it is to wake up. Ms. Afshin, Mr. Farooq, Dr. Sara, Zile Mariam, you guys were amazing guests, and thank you so much for all the information that you put out there. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure you learned a lot of things from this show specifically, because I know I did. And especially in this age when all of us as Pakistani nationals are focusing on, boosting the economy of Pakistan, I think we all can play some small parts. If you know people around you you who do have some ideas. May they be small or big, you can definitely, encourage them to apply for these over here at USAID SMEA. Yes, of course, that is what it is. Please write us on our Facebook page with the name of Well This Morning. On Twitter, we are with the name of Well This Morning without a G. Daily Motion and YouTube, also Well This Morning. And if you've missed the show, it's all right. You can catch the repeat at 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time, take care. Good morning.